Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavai Om Shanti 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 Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Mrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good evening. Are you okay or tired? Energy is there to sit in the class for 1.5 hours? There? Very good. Young people, you should not get tired that quickly. Yeah, please see page number 112. The last quote in the page. Our women. The uplift of the women, the awakening of the masses must come first, and then alone. And then only can any real good come about for the country, for India. It is only in the homes of educated and pious mothers that great men are born. Uplift of the masses and empowerment of women. Vivekananda talked about 130 years back. Okay, these two things are very important for the country. It's seen the reason for the downfall of the country, neglect of the masses and neglect of women. We are not given them education. He said about women, talking about men and women form two wings for the bird called society. If one wing is weak, the society cannot progress. As if one wing is weak, that bird cannot fly well. So Swamiji compared the East and the West, India and also America of that period. America was progressing very fast, and you could see that big women were free. They were having education. They were doing all jobs. So he wanted same kind of freedom for Indian women also. He was the first person to talk about women empowerment. In fact, today actually it's a buzzword. Spotlight is on, you know. The second statement in the quote is very important for me. It is only in the homes of educated and pious mothers that great men and women are born. So you're all here to learn the language. Why are you learning the language? Why it is important for you? Question. I want to answer. You want a good job, right? Okay, you got it. What next? What follows job? Next step in life? Marriage, right? Okay, you're married. What next? Very good. Children. Yeah. It is only in the homes of educated and pious mothers that great men and women are born. Right? It's very important. You are going to become parents. Tomorrow's parents you are. Okay. What kind of child you want? Or what kind of parent you want to become? This is very important. At a human level, it's not just reproduction. Okay. In animals, progeny, offspring means just reproduction. But in human beings, I don't think it like that. It must happen consciously. You know, Vivekananda traces his greatness to one thing. Swamiji said, Vivekananda's own words, comparing the ideals in in the East with the ideals of the West. Swamiji said to the people of America, my father and mother fasted and prayed for years and years so that I would be born. మా అమ్మ నాన్న ఎన్నో రోజులు ప్రార్థన చేశారు నన్ను కనే ముందు. They pray for every child before he is born in India. Says our great lawgiver Manu, giving the definition of an Aryan. He is the Aryan who is born through prayer. Every child not born through prayer is illegitimate according to the great lawgiver. The child must be prayed for. Those children that come with curses that slip into the world just in a moment of inadvertence because that could not be prevented. What can we expect of such progeny? And also, Swamiji is telling why Matru Devo Bhava, why mother is to be worshipped, why mother is to be respected, why we respect mother so much. From motherhood comes tremendous responsibility. There is the basis. Start from that. Well, why is mother to be worshipped so much? Because our books teach that it is the prenatal influence that gives the impetus to the child for good or evil. Go to 100,000 colleges, read a million books, associate with all the learned men of the world. Better off you are when born with the right stamp. You know, somebody is saying, today we think actually parenting begins after the birth of the child. No, it begins even before conception. Real parenting should happen when the child is growing in the womb of the mother. What thought mother generates, what emotion mother generates, that impacts the child. If it is a negative thought and negative emotion, it impacts the child negatively for life. And if it is positive thought and positive emotion alone, again it impacts the child positively for life. The consequences are almost irreversible. Today, actually, this maternal stress actually is taking a toll on mankind. You know the story of Gandhari, how Kauravas were born? Hmm? Gandhari and Kunti both were equally pious. Kunti had exceptional children, the Pandavas, very valorous, okay, very spirited, and had given only to the practice of dharma. Dharma was their passion. Gandhari was also equally pious like Kunti, but because she had entertained that negative emotion of jealousy when she had children in her womb, she had wicked children. It was not the fault of the children, it was not the fault of Duryodhana. For her, it was just a passing emotion. It came and went away, that negative emotion called jealousy. It was not there with her also. Not that she was a woman of jealousy and she would actually generate that negative emotion all the time. Not at all. It was just a passing emotion. But you see, for her, it was a passing emotion, but for children, it became second nature. It became their swabhava. Nobody could change the nature of Duryodhana. It is so important. Prenatal influence is so powerful. So, what thought mother generates? I said nobody should give stress to an expectant mother, particularly when mothers are carrying. Entire family should support her. If she generates negative thought, if she develops fear, if she develops anxiety, if she develops stress, it will impact the child, and that impact actually will be for life. Today we see so much of this happening. Children are being born with congenital disorders, physical deformities, and also psychological disorders. All this is because of maternal stress. Mothers are not being supported enough. They are not being given the right environment. So it's very important that prenatal influence actually influences the child positively and negatively. From human being onwards, the birthing of the child must happen consciously. What kind of child you want to bring, you can choose. Ask God, I want to have an exceptional life. He will give you. Okay? You can ask him, God, actually, you be born as my child. God actually will be born as your child. You must ask, you must pray for a child. And today, our parents, what they do in India, you know how much your parents are working for you. Okay, they're so dedicated, lifelong sacrifice for the sake of children. Our mothers and fathers, they do, right? So they want to put us back to schools, they want to give us best education. Okay, all the facilities they want to give. But only thing is, if the child is born right, then you can as good as you can take retirement. If your child is born with such good samskaras, and afterwards putting the child in good school, you don't have to worry. Like Vivekananda, person was born. It's not education which shaped him. He was born right. He was born with that samskara. That's all. So it's very important as tomorrow's parents, you don't forget this. Okay. As a generation, we should have one aspiration. What is this aspiration? The next generation that we are going to bring into the world must be greater than what we are in terms of quality, in terms of character, in terms of energy, and in terms of strength. That is your responsibility. Okay? Don't do it unconsciously and mechanically. What kind of mother I want to become, what kind of father I want to become. I want to become a great father, I want to become a great mother, I want to bring a great life into the world. That is a noble aspiration. Have this aspiration. Otherwise, your children will freak hell out of you. Okay? We all do things. Marriage is for happiness, job is for happiness, children is for happiness. But sometimes the reverse happens. The same children actually will torture us. Okay? If they are not born well. So it's very important to learn to do things consciously. Okay? Thank you. Nice evening.